The Los Angeles Chargers got away with highway robbery. What they did in the NFL offseason would be criminal in most industries. The fact that the Chargers were able to go in and get two key players in two key positions that needed to be upgraded for this team, well, shoot, as a Chargers fan, you got to be damn excited. But if you're not a Chargers fan, you got to be a little bit frustrated that your team wasn't the one going in and making these moves. You might not believe me right now, but I promise by the end of today's video, I am going to convince you that the Los Angeles Chargers absolutely dominated two moves in NFL free agency that made this team better. Let me convince you right now. I'm Will Ortner. This is Chargers Now, and if you love the Chargers, you're going to hit the thumbs up button on today's video. If you don't hit that thumbs up button, then you're not really a Chargers fan. Let's dive into those moves that I was talking about, because Tyler Biadasz is an unbelievable signing for this Chargers team. And I've got multiple reasons that I'm going to lay it out in this video. Now, it's not going to be the Tyler Linderbaum signing that we were all hoping the Chargers would end up making. But I'm telling you right now, the Washington Commanders, they made a mistake letting Tyler Biadasz get out of their building. Letting Tyler Biadasz become a free agent is going to hinder the Washington Commanders, because I don't believe that they have found a better center to replace him. And when I look at the Los Angeles Chargers, you had to make an improvement over there at that center position. Bozeman was not good enough. The fact that he retired kind of tells you that he was done at this point in his career. And so it was all up to this Chargers front office and general manager Joe Hortiz to go out and find an improvement there. And I think that they did. I have three reasons why. The first one, Biotish, he is an unbelievably strong football player. Not just from the literal physical sense, but from the fact that he is going to be an above average player at that center position for the Chargers. And with what you are getting previously from that position, that is a gigantic upgrade for this Chargers team. Biotish grades out wonderfully when it comes to the PFF rankings for the offensive line position. He is someone that is very good in run blocking while also still being a fairly decent pass protector. Now, when you look at the sacks allowed, you have to remember the style of offense that Washington is running. They are asking Marcus Mariota, they are asking Jaden Daniels to move around, scramble, be a little bit more fluid in the pocket. Well, when you ask your players to do that, that leads to the quarterback holding onto the football more, which can lead to more sacks. There are plenty of different examples of this in the National Football League, so I actually think that sack number is going to go down. When I watch football, I am of the belief that you want as many good football players on your team, which you're going to say, yeah, no S will. But think about it. How often have we seen teams in the National Football League just go, that guy will be fine. That guy will be good enough. We can coach him up. Or maybe they'll play at a higher level. When I look at Biotish, that's a guy that you can plug in, and you know I have a starting caliber center in the National Football League. Not a question, not I think he's going to be okay. No, you have a starter, and he is going to be above average in the National Football League. Is Biotish going to be elite? No. But right now, when you look at Washington Commander fans and how upset they are about the fact that they didn't make any big moves at that center position and they lost a quality starter in the National Football League, that should tell you something, especially when you had to improve the interior of your offensive line. I mentioned it before, but clearly Biotish is a gigantic upgrade. Last year, that interior of the offensive line, well, the entire offensive line, once Slater and Alt went down, it was Swiss cheese. Anyone could get in. Everyone got a turn to go in and hit Justin Herbert. The dude looked like he was in a demolition derby every Sunday. And so the fact that you have someone at that center position who's a veteran in the National Football League, who has seen everything that a center can possibly see and is going to be able to put this team in the right places, well, that's just huge. When we look at the O-line depth chart right now, it is clear that Biotish is going to help push this group forward. You know you have the two tackles that you want for your squad. Alt and Slater, man, they're unbelievable. But you knew you had to get better at the interior offensive line. Now, I wouldn't sit here and say that your guards have been greatly upgraded, But I would say that Biotish is the best center that the Chargers were able to go out and get that wasn't going to hurt them when it came to this comp pick formula that general manager Joe Hortiz clearly wants to lean on. I think that the Chargers had to go out and get a better center. Bozeman was not good enough, and it was clear that the Chargers were looking to do this. So the fact that they were able to go out and get Tyler Biadasz and help let him propel this team forward, well, that's just a gigantic grab for this squad. Again, you're not getting the best center in the National Football League. Biadasz, maybe, possibly, could end up being in a Pro Bowl conversation, but he's probably not going to be in an All-Pro conversation. Might not even be in that Pro Bowl conversation. But it's still a gigantic upgrade from what you got. You got competent O-line play, and that's what you can ask for. Leadership is the last thing that we need to talk about here because that O-line, it is on the younger side. But Biotish, he's been in the National Football League for quite some time. When you look at that center position, he has to be the second smartest person on the football field for you. Why? Because he's making all of the quarterback calls for the offensive line. He is the one that is helping get everyone on the same tracks in a zone scheme. He is the one that is making all the calls. And when you look at what Mike McDaniel wants to do for this offense, you need a center that's going to make sure that your team is in the perfect position to succeed. You're running long outside zones, man. You got to get the 5 to work as 1, and your 5 won't work as 1 if you do not have your center locked in and correct 98% of the time. Tyler Biadasz is a gigantic upgrade for this team. Are you happy that the Chargers ended up signing Biadasz? Let me know down below in the comment section, yes or no. And I'll tell you right now, if you're already fired up about that signing, you might as well hit the thumbs up button. The other big highway robbery move that the Chargers got away with, Keaton Mitchell, man. That running back is going to be fantastic for this Chargers team. He is the perfect scheme fit for this squad. He adds another running back that gives you even more depth. And in my personal opinion, he has versatility out the wazoo. When you look at Mitchell, there is so much untapped potential with him and everything that he can be. He has blazing fast speed, but he's never been the number one running back. And with the Chargers, he will not be the number one running back. But what he will be is the 1A or 1B or potentially even 1C. We've seen that in the Shanahan style of offense. You want to run the football with a multitude of different running backs. One, because it keeps them healthier. But two, by the end of the game, you figure out who's got the hot hand. Well, you ride that guy until the very end. Pause. When you look at Keaton Mitchell and everything that he's been able to do in Baltimore, while the yards are not going to jump off the page, while his carries are not going to jump off the page, what should jump off the effing page to you is his yards per average touch. He's getting essentially 6 yards a carry last year. And that's because Keaton is a big play waiting to happen. The minute that the football touches his hands, this guy can get gone like nobody's business. And it's not just a one-year sample size. When you look at his entire career, this guy, when he gets touches, he can explode. Now, I know that he's been in the league for 3 years, but he's only had 121 carries. When you look at that carry number, if he projects out to, let's say, 150 to 180 touches, that's about normal for a team that's running a 2 to 3 running back system because you want to get about 500 rushes on the year. You divide that into 2 or 3 guys. My math is somewhat accurate. You're looking at a guy who's going to have a 1,000-yard rushing season, and he's averaging over 6 yards a carry. That's absolutely absurd. Now, you're going to have to keep him healthy because Mitchell has not done a great job of keeping himself healthy. But I'm telling you right now, he could explode in this offense. If he's got the vision to see where the hole is going to be, where the hole is about to open up, you are going to see Keaton Mitchell continue to find different ways to have those big explosive plays where he runs for 20, 30, 40, 50 yards until he gets all the way into the end zone. The amount of potential that is there for Mitchell, if he can stay healthy for an entire year, there are going to be people talking about the Chargers pulling off an absolute steal in free agency, and that's why I'm really banking on that. The kid's an incredibly hard worker. He's someone that isn't afraid to continue to push himself and continue to try and improve everything that he is. We know that head coach Jim Harbaugh wants guys that are not afraid to work their ass off. He wants guys who love football. He wants guys who want to continue to push themselves on the football field until they reach everything that they can be. And so when you look at this running backfield right now between Omarion Hampton, Kimani Vidal, and Keaton Mitchell, you have an unbelievable backfield that has three running backs that do three unique things that could end up leading to this offense really exploding. Don't believe me? Well, let's take that from Jim Harbaugh then. Probably the most exciting thing is the combination of Omarion and Kimani and Keaton. Just a real thunder and lightning type of backfield. When we look at that running back depth chart, man, that is an impressive room. And there's a lot of other teams in the National Football League that would kill to have that type of running back room in their building. Telling you right now, it's a damn impressive crew. And it's a crew that I believe is going to lead this LA Chargers team, not just to the playoffs, but maybe to multiple playoff rounds because they're continuing to win. If the Chargers end up going all the way to Super Bowl 61 and getting a victory at home, you don't want to miss out on any of the coverage that we have here. You know how you don't miss out? You hit that sub button, and we'll make sure that we keep you covered all year long. Last, Mitchell is someone that could easily help out on special teams, and in fact, he did it a little bit in Baltimore as well. When I look at Mitchell, he is the ultimate Swiss Army knife. You can use him as a running back. He catches the ball well out of the backfield. And, of course, he's going to be able to be a return man for you if that's what you want to do. When you have a player that can do a multitude of different things at a very elite level, especially a guy that at any moment can pop, you want to make sure that you find ways to get the football in his hands. I think that the Chargers are going to continue to find ways to get Mitchell the football while also making sure that they get him the football in space so he's not taking as many big hits. Because if he's not taking as many big hits, well, then he's more likely to stay healthy throughout the year. I know it's a big gamble, and that's why a lot of other teams have not come in and bought on Mitchell. But when I look at Mitchell, I kind of see Devon Achane, a guy who's very explosive, a lot of speed, and when he gets into open space, he's hard to bring down. Devon Achane did very well in Mike McDaniel's system. Why couldn't Keaton Mitchell do the exact same? I believe that the Chargers committed highway robbery this offseason with a couple of those snags. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree with me down below in the comment section. Make sure that you sound off. I do love to hear all of your opinions, and I'm not always able to respond, but I do try to make sure that I at least give you a heart so you know that I saw it. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video. If you love the content, make sure that you hit that thumbs up button. And we are rapidly closing in on 3,000 subscribers. I want to make sure that we get there before the draft. How can you help us out with that? All you got to do, you click that sub button. And I promise we're going to have content out for you every single day on the Los Angeles Chargers. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video. Make sure that you bolt up.